Welcome back to my Klutzy Cupid. I got a feeling we're gonna be in for sad times here towards the end. I'm not looking forward to it. Meanwhile, we are back at Sumugu's house, and yeah. My eyes opened at the soft, warm, and familiar sensation on my lips. Immediately coming into view was my girlfriend's sweet smiling face looking down at me. Ohayo, Eru. Chuckling, I sat myself up. You know, I don't think there's anything that feels better than being woken up by a kiss from my girlfriend. I wouldn't know, unfortunately.
はい、私も嬉しくて幸せです。愛する人が私で目覚めてくれるなんて。だからこそ。
And that's why... Suddenly, Edu straightened up and adjusted her expression. Edu?
つむぐさん、お願いがあります。
Oh no, now what? Favor?
もう別れましょうとか、そういうことは言いません。
Good, because that was startling, even for me.
この恋から決して逃げたりはしません。まずそれを理解してほしいんです。
Okay. That's good. I mean, it's not like I was still doubting you or anything. I replied, feeling a little nonplussed. What was Edu trying to say?
ありがとうございます。それでですね。
Uh-huh. Hi.
私、一旦あなたの前から姿を消します。
Oh, come on. When I said the sad times were coming, I didn't think they'd be this early. Ugh. Huh? I could hardly believe my ears again. What are you talking about?
詳しくは言えません。だけど、私たちの未来に必要なことなんです。
Edu stood up vigorously, clenching her fists with conviction.
私、つむぐさんを信じています。だから、つむぐさんも私を信じてほしいんです。
So, let's recap. You said you're not gonna run away, you said you're not gonna say we have to break up, but yet, here you are, having to disappear. Huh. Not computing. Just gonna say that right now.
あなたの愛情、これでもかってほど刻みつけてもらいました。だから、これは逃亡でも失踪でもありません。お願いします、つむぐさん。私、待ってますから。
But you are running away. I didn't really get it, but... You know, she believed in me and said this is for the sake of our future, then... Alright. I had no other choice but to believe her as well. I loved her from the bottom of my heart, and I wanted to have a future together with her.
ありがとうございます、つむぐさん。では私、行きますね。つむぐさん、さっきのキスは決して最後のキスじゃないですから。
As though striding purposely toward our future, Edu left the room, and I found myself alone. Trust, huh? I stood up too and clapped my hands to my cheeks. Edu had to have a reason for doing this. Man, I sure hope it's a good one. which meant I had to do my part as well. For us. For her. Tja! In that case, I had to trust her and move forward too. Even if I was still groping around in the dark right now. Good news was, I didn't have to do it alone. That's right. There's another person who was concerned about me and Edo as well. Hare?
お疲れ様です。その後、進展いかがですか？
Ah, Kururu. Sweet summer child Kururu. During break, I received a rhyme message from Kosaki-san.
もしよろしければお昼休み、お話お聞かせ願えませんか？
Not having any reason to refuse, I headed toward the rooftop the moment the bell rang. And so, that's what happened. After meeting up with Kosaki-san, I told her everything that had happened up until now, including everything that happened this morning. She was the one other person I could talk to about my relationship with Edo. There's no reason to hide it from her. Once she'd finished listening to what I had to say, Kosaki-san placed a finger to her chin and sank into thought.
なるほど。それで今日は小泉先輩がいらっしゃらないんですね。
Yeah, that's why. Yep, I have no idea where she went.
しかしそれは逃亡でも失踪でもない。お二人の将来にとって意味のあること。
But she said before that she wasn't running away anymore.
と言われてもですよね。
Yeah, unfortunately we have to remain as vague as possible with this. For some reason. Yeah, you're telling me. She also said she'd be waiting for me, but I don't really know what that's supposed to mean.
他に何か心当たりはないんですか？
Definitely not. Well, I won't say there isn't. Try speaking to those who know more. I wish I had an echo sound effect so I can do that. The way the Love Note did. The only clue I had to go on now was the hint the Love Note had given me. I think there might be someone else besides us who knows more about Edo than we do. Yep.
関係者ですか？
Ever since she came to this town, she's been making friends in all sorts of places. So I was thinking there has to be someone out there who knows something about her that we don't.
なるほど。第三者の存在。
Only, I don't know who exactly that person is. Yeah, but we do. Although, there was someone I was rather suspicious about. But when I'd gone to peek into the third year's classroom during break, I hadn't been able to see Ushiro-senpai anywhere. And so, there really is someone. If there really is someone else who knows more about Edo, then... Saki-san furrowed her brow, thinking.
なら、峰越先生に話を聞いてみませんか？
Ugh, wasn't expecting that. Huh? Minako-sensei?
小泉先輩の唐突な転入を斡旋してくれた担任の先生です。
Yeah. Fair point.
何かクルルたちの知らない事情を知っている可能性はありますし。
Yeah, but I think it's probably not the information we're looking for. Really.
それにクルル、前々からあの人の小泉先輩に対する態度が少し気になっていたんです。
Hmm.
ほら、覚えてらっしゃいますか？ 前にここでお二人がまで進んだという話をしていたとき。
Yeah. Don't we all?
ごめんなさいね。通りがかったらなんとなく聞こえてきちゃって。
Yep. Oh, yeah.
そう二人はもうそこまで行ってるなんて驚いちゃったけど。
Where a normal sensei would normally have reprimanded us, Minako's sensei had seemed strangely happy at the news. God damn it. I can't talk today.
じゃない。小泉さんのこと、これからもよろしくね。大事にしてあげてね。
Oh, you can count on that. I mean, what? In the end, it even sounded like she was giving us her blessing. Hadn't really given it too much thought at the time, but now that you mention it, that was pretty weird.
はい。小泉先輩について、クルルたちの知らない何かをご存知だとしか考えられません。お話を伺ってみる価値はあると思います。
Indeed. No, you might be right. I had no other leads at that moment anyway. Well, I wasn't grasping at straws just yet. If there was even the slightest chance that Minako sensei knew something, then I had to find out what that was. Alright, I'll give it a shot. Minako sensei should be in the guidance counseling office. Wait. Should be in the guidance counseling office at this time, right?
そのはずです。当然、クルルもお供させてもらいますからね。
Arigato, Kururu. Although our visit was unannounced and had nothing to do with guidance counseling, Minako sensei happily invited us in anyway. However,
ごめんなさい。心当たりは特に。
well, it was worth a shot. Then we asked her if she might know where Ada had gone. She replied that she had no idea. Kosaki-san and I exchanged looks, wondering if this had been a waste of time after all. But while she might not know where Ada had gone, perhaps there was something else I could ask. Well, changing the topic.
はい。峰越先生は小泉先輩について何か知っていることがあるはずですよね。
Kosaki-san suddenly changed her approach.
それは。
Minako sensei's eyes wandered for a moment as though looking for the right words.
いえ、それも特にはないけれど。
Huh. But in the end, that was how she answered. Yeah. Huh.
だったらなぜ佐久間先輩と小泉先輩の仲を応援するようなことをおっしゃったんですか？
Oh, Kururu with the hard-hitting questions. She'd make a fine journalist. Ah, so this. I was curious about that too. Normally, I would have expected someone in your position to scold us or give us a warning, but...
別に当館は校則で異性行為を禁じてはいませんし。
I think she's hiding something.
急に丁寧語になりましたね。
Yep. Kosaki-san pointed out bluntly. Minako sensei's expression instantly became awkward as a shadow passed across her face. There's something going on, isn't there? They had no choice but to press her.
それは、なんと言いますか。
Doesn't matter how trivial it is. Something's going on, please tell us. I lowered my head earnestly.
佐久間くん？
My relationship with Eru, my future with her depends on it. So please, Sensei.
あなたが私に何を期待してるのか正直よくわからないけど。
The truth would be a good start.
その小見さんに関しては実のところ思い入れと言いますか気になっていることがないではないです。
I see. Also, I don't know how I didn't notice this before, but her hair clip is a heart shape. Interesting. She pouted her lips, flushing a little as she replied reluctantly. But in the end, Minako-sensei finally gave us the answer we were looking for.
言いづらいことを聞いてしまってすみません。クルルはいつもこう夢中になると歯止めが効かなくなってしまって。
Yeah, well.
あなたたちが切実に手がかりを探しているのは私にもわかるから。役に立てるかは自信ないけど少し私の昔話に付き合ってくれる？
Ooh, now we're getting somewhere. Your past. What could that possibly have to do with Eru? Oh, excuse me, with Eru. But still, I was desperate for any information right now. Ugh. Please do, Sensei.
じゃあそうね。どこから話そうかしら。私がまだあなたたちと同じ年の頃の話なんだけど、私には親友って言えるすごく仲のいい友達がいたの。名前は天木エリ。元気で明るくて漫画好きで一緒にいるだけで楽しい子だったわ。だったんですか。そうだったなの。過去形なの。それじゃあ今は。私は今でも親友だと思ってるわ。だけど今ではそういう親友がいたとしか言えないの。
Well, shit.
だってあの子は10年前交通事故で脳に損傷を受けて今もなお病院で眠り続けてるから。
Cheerful and lively girl who loved manga, huh? Sensei, are you telling me this Eddie person?
小泉さんにそっくりなの。性格も容姿も何もかも。
Damn. Oh yeah, I can even see the heart-shaped ahoge in her hair.
だから最初驚いちゃった。エリが帰ってきてくれたのかと思った。もちろん小泉さんはエリじゃないわ。だけど彼女を見ているとどうしてもエリのことを思い出してしまうから。小泉さんにはエリができなくなってしまったこと、普通の青春を送ってほしいなって ついつい気にかけてしまってた。佐久間くんと付き合い始めたって知って思わず応援してしまった。
By the way, sorry if it takes me a while to get to the next, the next dialogue because I'm trying to keep my composure here.
それだけの話よ。
Damn.
なるほど、ありがとうございました。辛いことを思い出させてしまって改めてすみません。
Yeah.
大丈夫よ。気遣ってくれてありがとう、高崎さん。ぶしつけだったのはこちらですから。しかし佐久間先輩、この様子ではこれ以上小見先輩に関する情報は見込めなさそうですね。
Yeah, I think that was more than enough, though. I mean... Kasaki-san whispered into my ear.
お話しいただいたことも正直現状には役立ちそうになかったですし。
Yeah, but useful or not, that still tugged on the fucking heartstrings. Nay. Couldn't say I agreed. In fact, Sensei's words here reminded me of something just now. The conversation I'd had with Eru, or rather, of Eru, when we had first met. You mean you were specifically... Oh, shit. You mean you were specifically made to resemble a human? Or are you saying you used to be a human yourself? Oh my god.
そう、天使の成り立ちまでは知りません。
Oh.
でも仮に私が元人間だったとしても私には恋天使としての記憶しかありませんので確かめようがありません。
So, this may be Eri. Or Eru. I also remember her telling me she had a wish that she wanted to fulfill, no matter what. Combining all those things with the story that Sensei had told us just now, could it be that Eru's real identity is actually this Amaki Eri person? The thought came to me like an instinctive revelation. Despite losing her memories, perhaps her wish was, or has always been, to wake up once more as a human. Yeah, it wasn't impossible. Nope. Still, this is all just conjecture on my part. But even so, there is definitely a possibility that this clue could lead us somewhere. Clearing my throat. Arigato, Minako-sensei. I bowed my head in gratitude. But unexpectedly...
なんていうか頑張ってね、佐久間くん。
Minako-sensei gave me firm words of encouragement in return. And I look up at the sky. And after returning home, once I had finished my dinner and went back to my room, I immediately flipped open the love note. Right now, I needed any clue I could get. Though, with Eru out of the picture at the moment, I had no idea what kind of advice the love note could give me. Yeah, really, I wonder. Still, had to be better than doing nothing. With a practiced hand by now, I scribbled down the name Koimi Eru. Fortunately, moments later,
恋にエイル運命度95
oh shit, we are damn near at the end. Kyojugo! Or Kyujigo, excuse me. Words quickly appeared across the page. What's more, the number was even higher than before. More words of advice soon followed.
つながりを頼ること
Trust in my connections. Oh, excuse me. What connections? Thought about it for a moment, but there was only one answer. The story Sensei had told me earlier today, and the dots I connected after hearing it. Well, I guess there's only one choice. I'll just have to go see her myself. The person who might be Edu's true identity. Amaki Yeti. Hold on a second. Okay. And so, the following Saturday, I went and took a trip to the largest hospital in our area. Is that what this is? Naturally, I was here to visit the room where Amaki Eri lay comatose. I had stayed at this hospital once before too, if only for a few days when I had injured my leg. So while I wasn't exactly familiar with the building, I had an inkling of where Amaki Eri's room might be. After signing in at the reception desk, I made my way toward her hospital room and stepped inside. Immediately, my eyes fell upon... Yep. God damn. A single young girl lying motionlessly asleep. My breath caught in my throat. Instinctively, I almost called out to her. After all, this sleeping girl, Amaki Eri, she really is Eru. They don't just look similar. But the sleeping figure before my eyes was unmistakably Eru, without a shadow of a doubt. But there was no point in speaking to her. The nurse had already warned me as much earlier. While she still maintained the ability to breathe and circulate blood to keep herself alive, at this point, she was more or less in a vegetative state, unconscious and unresponsive. I might, yeah. Okay. Ultimately, despite coming to see her, there was nothing I could do for her. Without being able to speak to her, there's no way I could confirm whether or not this girl and the Eru I knew were even the same person. But nonetheless, I promise you this. Unconsciously, I found myself speaking to her as the man who loved Eru. I'm going to help you find happiness too, Eddie. As though swearing an oath, I spoke those words aloud. And with that, I left the hospital room behind. Both my mind and my body felt suffocatingly warm. Later, after wondering about aimlessly for some time, Alone with my thoughts, I realized the sun had begun to set. Before I knew it, I had come to a stop in front of my house. But was it really alright to simply go home like this? Wasn't there something else I could still do? Just as I asked myself that question, however... Howdy. Suddenly I heard a message notification coming from my pocket. Pulling out my phone, I saw that it was from Kazaki-san.
今日後ろ先輩がバイトに来ました。
Okay.
ちょうど今店を出るところです。
Well, in that case, I might be able to make it if I hurry. I'd been meaning to have a proper conversation with him about Eru. All the more so now, given the circumstances. Yeah, we gotta get some answers out of him. Quickly making up my mind, I turned and set off at a run toward Fairy Tale. Hopefully I'd be able to catch him in time.
やあ、つむぐくん。
Huh! Halfway toward the restaurant, I was suddenly caught by surprise. I don't know why I read it like that. Apologies if I blew your eardrums out. Something like this had happened before. It was almost as though he'd been waiting for me. In fact, it was probable. That's the sort of impression he gave off today, too. Ushiro-senpai! Volcano! Either way, this made things quicker. Having said that, I wasn't sure how to bring up the topic of Eru. As I tried to think of what to say, however, he spoke.
君はエイル君、ラブミエールのことで悩んでいるんだね。
Two things. Number one, as if it wasn't obvious, and number two, don't really like how, the music sounds right now. As if something bad's about to happen. Uh-huh. I was caught by surprise once more. On top of guessing what I was about to say, the name of Love Mieru had even come out of Ushiro-senpai's mouth. Now that settled it. This person really was... I knew it, senpai. You're also...
君が聞きたいのは僕のことじゃないだろ。
This guy's a scumbag. You're right, but...
恋天使はその役目を果たすと、確かに本人の願いは叶えられる。
Ignoring the fact that I was still struggling to wrap my head around the situation, Ushiro-senpai slowly began to speak.
しかし願いが叶えば、同時に恋天使であった頃の記憶は失われる。恋天使と関わりがあった人間はもちろん、この世界にいた記憶すら全てが抹消されるんだ。
Eru had more or less told me the same thing once before. But this time it was as clear and unambiguous as could be. There was no longer any shred of doubt. This person was unmistakably connected to angels in some way. That's right. Eru had told me the same thing. Finally getting a grip, I managed to utter in response. Then I also puffed out my chest in defiance, as though to say my bond with Eru was stronger than any relationship he might have with her. However, Ushiro-senpai simply took my antagonistic attitude in stride.
そうか。
He smiled softly and nodded. Then he looked me straight in the eye.
なら、僕は問わねばならない。彼女の事情を全て理解した上で、それでも、君は彼女を愛するのかい？
You really asking me that question? Wow. Reflexively and instinctively, I understood. That question wasn't intended to rile me up. If anything, it almost sounded as though he was praying for something, hoping for something. And so, I felt encouraged. At the same time, a rush of heat welled up At the same time, a rush of heat welled up inside me. I do, senpai. I replied with conviction. No matter what happens, we won't stop loving each other. Hearing my answer, Ushiro senpai smiled even more gently and nodded his head firmly in agreement. That wasn't all.
ならば伝えるよ。もうすぐ彼女は恋天使としての役目を終える。
Wait. Is Eddie gonna wake up?
最後に見ておきたい思い出の場所があるならそこへ行くようにと上司命令を先ほど出した。
Okay.
行くなら今だよ。
Senpai! At his words, the place in question immediately came to mind. A place that had a special spot in Ada's heart. If she still felt the same way about me as she did before, then she had to be there. Arigato! Once again, apologies if your eardrums blew out. Turning on my heel, I immediately set off at a run. Even without looking back, I could tell Ushiro senpai was watching me go with the same soft smile on his face. Alright, so I guess he's not a scumbag after all. I ran, and I ran. Even as night began to fall, I continued to run without pause. Drenched with sweat, I finally arrived. Though I was out of breath and so exhausted that my legs felt like jello. Yup. The moment I saw Ado in her angel form, in what felt like ages, all that instantly melted away. She was here after all. I knew it. Back in the middle of April, on our first date. She seemed to be having the time of her life when we sat in this park eating crepes together. Ah, those were good times, is what she had said. The biggest smile on her face. Which is why this spot was the first place that came to mind when I thought about places that might be special to her. After all, it was an extremely special place to me, too. Although, to be honest, that love hotel we'd gone to had been a pretty strong contender as well. Jeez. But I doubted she'd have gone there on her own. Yeah. Very doubtful. Actually, this is Ayla we're talking about. I wouldn't have put it past her. Oh, man. ごめんなさい. Sorry for keeping you waiting. Edu, or rather, Love Me Edu's eyes grew wide for a moment after hearing that. Then, as I'd expected, she giggled. Kinda sounds like some cliche line out of manga, huh? Yeah. Yeah, it really does. Ugh. Damn it. Sorry about that. My legs are having muscle spasms. Anyway, it really did keep you waiting, though. she whispered ecstatically, smiling from ear to ear. Just by looking at her, I couldn't help but feel my heart beating faster. After all, I'd been waiting for her, too. Not wanting to let her go again, I pulled her into a tight hug. Then leading into her ear, I poured out my heart and soul. Daisuke!
紡さん
I love you as Eru. I love you as Miyaru. I promise to love you as Eri too. Her soft body trembled in my arms. Lifting up her slender hands, she placed them timidly around my back. But before hugging me the same way back,
私答えたいです。あなたの思いに、大好きなあなたの愛の言葉に。だけど、どうしてももう一度聞かせてください。
I understood that she wasn't speaking out of fear or rejection. This was a question she needed answered no matter what. In order to face what was to come, in order to place her trust in me from the bottom of her heart.
この恋が叶えば、私は恋天使の役目を終えることになります。そうしたら、お互いに今までの記憶が全部消えてしまいます。紡さん、私の紡さん、あなたはそれでも私と。
Yes! I'd still want to be with you. I'd never stop loving you. Fuck. I answered without a moment's hesitation. In fact, I nearly shouted it. Swearing it. Yeah, well, I shouted it. Even if we both lose our memories, I believe we're destined to find each other again. Yeah, and lucky for both of you, he found you. Oh boy. Cute. At long last, Ada wrapped her arms around me and hugged me back.
私も一緒です。あなたと私は運命の恋人なんだって信じます。変わらずに信じています。
Well, no, wait a minute. Now that I think about it, how old is Minako Sensei? With that in mind, yeah, you know what? I'm not gonna think about that right now. I know.
紡さん。
We embraced each other tightly. As though we'd become one, we pressed into each other as closely as possible, reciprocating our emotions. It was then, probably, that we realized the same thing. Oh crap. This isn't enough anymore.
はい足りません。抱き合うだけじゃもう足りません。
Yeah, believe it or not, this came to mind earlier as well.
もっと重ねたいです。重なり合って私たちは存在のすべてでつながってるって。
What a way to lead into an H scene, am I right?
一緒にいるんだって感じたいです。
In that case, you know what we should do again. Or do then, right?
はい、知ってます。あなたに教えてもらいました。一緒に重ねてきましたから。
Yeah, that's one way of putting it. And I'm taking you right here, right now.
抱いてください。してください。心も体も一つになりましょう。
I thought he was just gonna take her to the fucking hotel, but not do it right here. Jesus Christ. You got it. In the end, we could no longer even exchange words. Locking our lips together, we quickly lowered ourselves down onto a nearby bench.
紡さん。
I just want to know how we got away with that. I mean, basically fucked in broad. Well, okay, not daylight, but you know what I mean. Anyway. Did this guy really just fall asleep after fucking?
力尽きて寝ちゃうなんて。
Jesus.
本当に必死でここまで駆けつけてくださって、そのまま全力で抱いてくださったんですね。
Yeah. Yeah, I'd be tired after all that too.
そんなあなただから大好きなんですよ。永遠を、運命を信じられるんですよ。ラブノート、ラブチャームも。
Oh no, here we go.
そうですよね。ここまで深く紡さんと愛し合えたんですから。運命度もメーターも100になって当たり前ですよね。
そうだね。よく頑張ったね。
Where the hell did you come from?
後ろさんじゃなくて。
今はもうこれまで通りの呼び方で構わない。
Yeah, that ship sailed a while ago.
はい、天使長様。覗いてたんですか？紡さんと私が愛し合ってるところ。
Yeah, dude, what the fuck?
そういうことはしていないから安心してくれていいよ。
Okay, good.
ラブチャームの運命度が100になったのが分かったからやってきたんだ。
そうですよね。天使長様ともあろう方がデバカメなんて。
笑えているね、ラブミエール。
Mm,
ならよかった。本当にずっと気がかりだったんだ。君が幸せな結末をたどれるかどうか。我が子のように今日まで見守ってきたけど。
はい、知っています。分かっています。いろいろご心配やご厄介をおかけしましたけど、私この通り笑えています。だから本当にありがとうございました。
ではそろそろ始めようか。
no, oh. Oh, excuse me. Nodding, I slowly got to my feet. Maybe I could use this too. Okay. And slowly I turned around.
紡さん、
My beloved, the man who loved me with all his might. Smile naturally spread across my face as I gazed at him.
今日という日をこんな風に迎えるなんて思ってもいなかったんですからね。私は恋天使で、誰かと誰かの運命を結びつける手助けをするだけの存在だったはずなのに、まさかあなたと私の間に運命があったなんて。心の底からそうだと信じられるなんて。本当にありがとうございます、紡さん。
The more words I spoke, the more joy and affection welled up inside me. And the more tears welled up inside me. More than I ever thought possible.
これから今の私はラブミエールは消えてしまいますけど、
Oh, boy.
ずっと一緒にいると約束したのに、 うしてもまた離れ離れにはなってしまいますけど。
Even saying it aloud was wait. Oh, that is a word. Heart-rendingly painful. So much that I couldn't stop the tears from falling. Ditto. But even so. Yes, even so.
だけど必ずあなたの腕の中に戻ってきます。必ずあなたのことを思い出してみせますから。あなたにも思い出してもらいますから。だからこれはさよならじゃありませんからね。またねですからね、つむぐさん。
Fuck.
再会するその時までどうか健やかでいてください。いつか必ず今日の続きをしましょうね。私の運命のあなた。
Unconsciously, I found myself clasping my hands in prayer. There's nothing left to do now but believe in our destiny, the strength of our love. Isn't that right, Tsumugi-san?
満願成就の時は来たれり。さあ、愛し子よ。君の願いは君の努力と愛によって今叶う。願いなさい。君という存在のすべてで。
はい、天使長様。
Softly, I closed my eyes. Even with them shut, his face was burned into my eyelids. There's nothing more to fear. Simply had to believe and pray.
私を元の私に戻してください。
I prayed for the wish I'd carried all along. But now, also,
そしてどうか大好きなつむぐさんと。
I prayed to see the love of my life once more.